In the heart of San Francisco stands the Queen Anne Hotel, a charming Victorian building that dates back to the late 19th century. Originally built as Miss Mary Lake's School for Girls, the hotel now serves as a luxurious retreat for travelers. However, beneath its elegant exterior lies a history filled with tragedy, loss, and a lingering presence that many believe to be supernatural. This is the true story of the hauntings at the Queen Anne Hotel. The Queen Anne Hotel was built in 1890 by Senator James Fair, who invested a significant amount of money into the construction of the luxurious Victorian building. The building was intended to serve as an elite girls' boarding school, run by Miss Mary Lake, a well-respected educator and the school's headmistress. Miss Lake was known for her dedication to the school and her students, and she poured her heart and soul into making the institution a success. The school thrived for several years, attracting the daughters of wealthy families who wanted their girls to receive a high-quality education. However, despite the school's success, it abruptly closed its doors in 1896 under mysterious circumstances. Some say that financial difficulties were to blame, while others believe that personal tragedies led Miss Lake to shut down the school. Miss Lake herself moved away, but her connection to the building never waned. After the closure of the school, the building went through several transformations. It was used as a gentleman's club, a private residence, and eventually it fell into disrepair. In the early 1980s, a group of investors saw the potential in the grand old building and decided to restore it to its former glory. They transformed the dilapidated structure into a beautiful boutique hotel, preserving much of its original Victorian charm. As renovations progressed, workers reported strange occurrences. Tools would disappear and reappear in different locations. Unexplained cold spots were felt throughout the building, and the distinct sound of footsteps could be heard when no one was around. These eerie incidents were dismissed as the quirks of an old building, but they marked the beginning of the hotel's haunted reputation. One of the most haunted areas of the Queen Anne Hotel is room 410, believed to have been Miss Mary Lake's office during her tenure as headmistress. Guests staying in room 410 have reported numerous paranormal experiences, including objects moving on their own, the sensation of being watched, and the feeling of an unseen presence in the room. One guest recounted a chilling experience. "I was staying in room 410 and had just settled into bed when I felt a sudden chill. I looked up and saw the faint outline of a woman standing at the foot of the bed. She was dressed in Victorian clothing and had a kind yet sad expression on her face. As I watched, she slowly faded away, leaving me feeling both terrified and oddly comforted." Paranormal investigators who have visited room 410 have captured compelling evidence, including EVP, electronic voice phenomena, recordings of a woman's voice, and temperature fluctuations that cannot be explained by natural causes. Miss Mary Lake is not the only spirit said to haunt the Queen Anne Hotel. Over the years, guests and staff have reported encounters with the ghost of a former caretaker who is believed to have looked after the building during its time as a gentleman's club. This spectral figure is often seen in the hallways and common areas, performing his duties as if he were still alive. One evening, a staff member was closing up the hotel's lounge when he noticed a man dressed in old-fashioned attire sweeping the floor. Thinking it was a guest in costume, the staff member approached the figure, only to have it vanish before his eyes. The experience left him shaken and convinced that the ghostly caretaker still roamed the halls of the Queen Anne Hotel. The Queen Anne Hotel's grand parlour is home to a beautiful antique piano, which is said to play itself on occasion. Guests have reported hearing the soft strains of music drifting through the air, only to find the parlour empty and the piano untouched. This phenomenon has been attributed to a former music teacher who taught at the girls' school and had a deep love for the instrument. One night, a couple staying at the hotel decided to explore the parlour. As they approached, they heard the unmistakable sound of piano music. They hurried to the room, expecting to find someone playing, but were met with an empty parlour and a piano that was eerily silent. The couple later learned about the phantom pianist and felt honoured to have experienced a piece of the hotel's haunted history. The Queen Anne Hotel is also said to be home to the spirits of several children who once attended Miss Mary Lake's school. Guests have reported hearing the laughter and footsteps of children running through the hallways, even when no children are present. Some have even seen the apparitions of young girls in old-fashioned dresses playing in the hotel's common areas. One guest shared her experience. "I was sitting in the parlour late at night when I heard the sound of children laughing. I looked up and saw two young girls in Victorian dresses running down the hallway. They looked so real that I called out to them, but they vanished around the corner. It was both beautiful and haunting to witness." In addition to the ghostly guests, the Queen Anne Hotel is said to be haunted by the spirits of former staff members who were deeply devoted to the building. These spirits are believed to help maintain the hotel, ensuring that it remains in pristine condition. Guests have reported finding their rooms meticulously cleaned and organized, even when they had left them in disarray. One morning, a guest awoke to find her suitcase neatly packed and her clothes folded, despite having left them scattered the night before. She was certain that no one had entered her room, leading her to believe that the loyal spirits of the hotel staff were still performing their duties from beyond the grave. The Queen Anne Hotel continues to welcome guests from around the world, many of whom are drawn by its haunted reputation. Despite the numerous paranormal encounters, the spirits that inhabit the hotel are generally regarded as friendly and protective.